Are you ready to find out why you need a virtual assistant as a business consultant? In this video, I am going to dive through the main reasons why a lot of our clients at 2XU really succeed with their virtual assistant and why you probably need one too. Now, the first reason and the main reason is you need to be doing what you do best, and that is working with your clients. It is not always in the lead gen, it is not always in the day-to-day management of how things are. It is when you show up for your clients, when you're doing the calls, when you're doing the work with them, when you are helping them towards whatever goals that you've set previously. That is what you do best. And it's probably how you got started becoming a business consultant in the first place, is you want to work with these people. And the day-to-day, which is just entrepreneurship, is you've kind of maybe got caught up in the things that you don't really enjoy doing or don't really serve what it is that you want to work towards, which is working with your clients and helping them succeed in whatever it is that they're doing. So that is kind of the biggest thing. Like, in fact, if you skip the rest of these video and you kind of really think that through of like, what do I do best and what are things that I can probably start giving to someone else, you've probably kind of gone further than most people have. But if you are still here, I'll give you other reasons. The next one is creating systems. And this is an essential thing if you are trying to scale, or as a business consultant, you might already have started hiring other consultants to help you working with your clients. And what creating systems mean is building processes, building your documentation, building a kind of a repeatable results system, basically, where whoever is facing your client, whichever consultant it is, or when you're just having not the best day and you can't remember where things are at, there's a way to systematize and find them really easy. And this is one of the things that your virtual assistant can do for you, is aside from take off the tasks that you might not be the best at, that you might not be the expert in, then your assistant can take those and create systems out of them so it is easier on the next person. As a really good example of this is, of course, your assistant can go ahead and create a system for onboarding your clients. That way you don't have to feel like you're starting from scratch over and over again. You know, your assistant can start creating like onboarding forms, the emails, you know, being the one to even send the invoices, whatever that looks like. There's now someone else working on that and creating the system so it's repeatable results every single time. The third reason is then creating your assets. So once your systems are kind of created, your assistant can also focus on creating things like your email template, the format that you like, when it comes to creating the assets for your social media, like your speaker bio, or going ahead and making sure that your best headshots, basically, when you're speaking on stage, is all in one place. So it's creating and kind of really managing your assets as well. So then it's easy for you and your team to find if there's any. And if you start working with like marketing teams or content teams, your assistant can be the one to work with them on managing your assets and making sure that things are easy to find, especially things like your notes for your clients, managing the information of your clients. When it comes to making sure that if you haven't talked with a client for 6 months, you have, you know, an easy asset to kind of get them back into the loop. You have a template basically that your assistant has stored, and then they can be the one to follow up with the client if they've not booked with you or worked with you in a while. So it's a lot of different things where it's easy and you don't have to, again, feel like you keep having to start from scratch every time something happens, because your assistant has created the systems and the assets for them. Now, speaking of creating that system, your assistant can then start managing your systems ongoing. What I mean by this is, like I said, on the onboarding, not only did they create the system for it, is they can walk the new client through the process of onboarding them, whether it's getting the right information, whether it's making sure that you have their card on file, whether it's making sure that, hey, can you go ahead and stalk them a little bit on LinkedIn, and if they said an announcement of like, hey, you know, it's my birthday or work anniversary, whatever it is, your assistant can be the person to reach out to them, send them a gift, set something up to kind of brighten a little bit their day, and it basically just adds a little bit into the client experience. And then on the flip side, on managing your systems, almost everything else in the back end, your assistant can kind of be that overseer. And if, for example, you have a bookkeeper, you have an accountant, there's a way for your assistant to go ahead and work with them and manage the things that you basically want to send to them. If you have receipts, if you have things that you want them to manage, your assistant can kind of be that person to work with them. And if you set, again, a social team, a content team, your assistant's the one working with them, or might be working with you on repurposing content you already have. So other than, again, just creating those systems, your assistant can be the one making sure that they're actually following through, which leads them to, of course, becoming the manager of your day to day, of working with you, working with your clients, working with your team, of making sure things are flowing the way that they are. They're the ones helping follow up. They're making sure that essentially the things that need to happen are going to happen, your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly tasks, things that need to happen for your business or even for yourself. For example, for me on the personal side, I have regular checkups I have to do to take care of my health. I have things like taking care of my family. And for a lot of these, because I have worked and really invested a lot of time in aligning with my assistant, she can even start predicting the things that I need. Of like, hey, it's been 6 months since you got, this and this test done. Let's go ahead and schedule that. Or hey, I saw that you have a trip with your family coming up. Do you want to plan anything for that? So it's getting to the point where as your assistant gets to know the business better, as your assistant understands you better, it's going to be easy for you guys to collaborate and work together. So then your day-to-day doesn't have to be as messy or as disorganized it usually would be, because you have someone kind of from a disattached kind of like outside point of view, looking at how the business is, looking at how you are, and kind of making sure that there is a good balance between the two of your life and your business. And truly, they become your filter of like anything that comes into your attention or should come into your attention. They become that like, hey, someone so-and-so wanted to schedule a time really late on your schedule, so I went ahead and actually moved them. Or like, hey, I saw this email come in, this is really important, I think you need to see this, or I took care of it. So they become kind of like any single time that there's a distraction from the things that you want to be working on, your assistant becomes that filter, because again, they understand your goals, you work with them on your goals, you work with them on your preferences, that they're able to block things that you're not supposed to even really see because it's just a distraction, or bring into your attention things that you do need to look at, things that you do need to pay attention to, just because again, they understand where you're at, you're communicating with them, you're building that relationship with them, and it makes it easier for your job or for your role as a business consultant to be able to show up. And the biggest reason, honestly, it is a show of true growth and scaling when you can step away from the business. And this starts by being able to learn how to delegate and work with someone other than yourself, other than maybe a replacement of you, where you have an assistant who can manage that day-to-day, manage you, manage the things that you need to work on or the things that you're usually worried about, and you're able to step away from the business and be able to think of strategy rather than just thinking of that day to day. You're able to see like, oh, if we added this part of the system, if we added this part of the business, we added this new offer, we can grow a little bit better or become a little bit more stable. You're able to do that because you're able to step away from the day-to-day, from the operations, from the project management and the systems and all of that, because you have a virtual assistant who can take care of it, and you're able to just really, again, focus more on that growth of scaling and where you want the business to go. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you got a few more ideas, let me know by hitting the like button right there, and comment below any questions you might have about having a virtual assistant. I would love to know and make a future video about it. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!